Broadcast live.
Yeah, out here with Champagne69.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
Once again,
Yes,
good seeing you guys. It's been a long minute.
We had to do this for very long. So
long overdue. We've tried to do this in so many ways.
So many ways.
There's been so many situations.
So many scales.
Wow, we're finally here now.
We're finally here, man. Yo, thanks for coming through, gents.
Thanks for having us, man.
I think there's a couple of questions obviously people have sent us, which I'm gonna get in and out of them. I'm gonna get into the music also. One of the key things, I think someone actually also asked this question. As they were like, for Champagne69, it's like, what do you guys represent, right? Like in terms of sound and content, for someone who hasn't fully given you an ear, what are you trying to achieve? What are you selling the listener?
I'm gonna answer the question by starting with this. So our journey has grown pretty quickly in a very short space of time. So we've had to find our sound in the public eye. It's not like we had a lot of time to build in quiet or whatever. So with that being said, we've gotten to that point right now. It's always been the same thing. So it's always really been about the good energy and the positivity. If we're talking about the energy of our music. When it comes to sonically, it's always just really been about trying to influence the sounds themselves from who we are. So I'm a big anime fan, and I find a lot of my flows and just the sounds that are in the beats as well from anime. And I put that in there in my bars and stuff. And it's for William, it's okay, fashion raps. Do you know what I mean? We kind of dabble in a bit of both, mixing and matching or whatever, but the sound is not always one thing, but right now it's one thing and it's going to be one thing for a bit.
Yeah. And the content's always based around our lives.
Yeah.
It's always about being able to relate to what we're saying.
Yeah.
From a teenage point of view, when we started as teenagers.
Yeah.
How old are you guys now?
22.
21. Yeah. It's when we started, it was first year of varsity. And what we were going through at that time was what every varsity student goes through, but we were just telling it through our music at the time. So everything that being said, from the first song we did to the second song we did, it was things that were happening at that time, at that moment. And a lot of kids our age at that time could relate to that stuff.
But also the way the stuff comes out, and I have to say this, it's not gonna be I don't know, Tupac lyricism, do you know what I mean? We're just telling it the way we feel it should be told, you know what I mean? So we might be speaking about some really depressing shit, but it's over a slapping 808, and it's that sounds fun, do you know what I mean? So the story is not gonna be okay, I need to listen to every word so I can hear it, but the elements are there and the story is being told, I suppose.
I'm glad you're saying that, because I thought I would be offending you guys, because I was at times I don't know what y'all are talking about, but I feel the vibe.
I feel,
you know what I mean? I'm obviously from the school of listening, and then I said, maybe this is the music you don't really listen to. You get in the vibe and you catch what you catch. You know what I mean? I mean, not all the songs. A couple of songs, especially the shit that you guys go, yo, that's the singer, you got to check that out. Okay, you know what I mean? Now, when you're also talking about the kind of stories that you guys would talk about on your joints, I mean, what worlds what influences those stories? I mean, what worlds influences those stories? I know you said you come from Polokwane the last time, right?
Yeah. Okay, boy.
I'm always interested to go, cool, so whether it's a depressing story on whatever beat it is, or whether it's a good energy story, what world do you guys come from, and what challenges have you guys been through or haven't been through that also kind of inspires your music?
We started this thing off as a parody, it was a joke in the beginning, because it was we were the kids that were in prom, that were doing we used to host parties a lot. So we used to host these parties called Onyx. And during that time, it was we just wanted to represent the youth for ourselves, we wanted to listen to the music we wanted to listen to, because we couldn't get into the clubs at the time, And a lot of the situations that we had in that space, in those spaces, like as kids, influenced like the music that's happening now, like wow, in the beginning, because we've grown as people since then. Like the music that we currently be making, like, is a lot more serious than it was back then, but it's in terms of storytelling, it's more clear than before. So for all the hip hop heads there, we have, we got you. We went on old school type beats, like, you know what I mean? Like we've matured as people, and like, I think that's it.
Is it a fair thing to say, because of all the work that you've been doing in Brahm, you know, at school, and being who you guys are, your personalities, and hosting the parties, that literally made you guys like famous for nothing before you got into the music. It made you guys famous, not even nothing.
Well, not for nothing.
It made you guys famous for activating.
Activated.
We kind of pushed the culture before the culture was the culture, because it's like, in the beginning when we met up, it was just a group of friends that linked up in a spot that was central to all of us, and we shared the same interests. Like, one was doing photography, I was doing fashion at the time.
To be honest, this thing is about taxis, bro.
Yeah.
If Rosebank was Brahm, it would have been Rosebank. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was, Brahm just happened to be because it made sense for everybody.
Yeah, because we had like some of our friends were from the south and we were from the north side, and like, you know, and we also schooled in Brahm. So it was just easy access for us to like link up and, you know, and build a culture from there. And then we got famous, like, not famous, but I would say we got popular. Yeah, like we got popular because like I used to do a lot of modeling. She used to do a lot of modeling. Our other friend was a photographer. Our other friend was a DJ that was coming up, and we're also hosting Onyx. And we're representing the kids, and for us, they looked at us like, oh, thank you for like creating the space for us to feel free to be like ourselves as kids, you know.
So with all these hats, you know, when is the first time you guys walk in the studio? When is the first time you guys literally like are going, yo, there's a beat, we got rhymes? I mean,
can I actually tell the story?
Yeah.
Can I actually tell the story? Because I feel very strongly about it. It's like, so, like William said, this thing started off as like a parody. It was like, we were supposed to make a mockumentary of Braamfontein street culture, which I think we should still do. It's actually quite an idea. But
I think it's a good idea.
So we started by doing the score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Patrick, so William was like, yo, we could actually just go to Patrick and do it. We'd known Patrick for a while. Patrick Lee. So we'd known him for a while. We're like, actually, like, we could go do that. So we linked up or whatever. We got into studio. He played us some beats and we're like, yo, that one slaps. So we like writing or whatever, like the energy is like really good or whatever. We do it. Next thing it's a song, and then William's like, dog, actually, like, don't you want to drop it? And I was like, yo, man, I mean, I don't mind or whatever. And then we dropped it, and now it's...
What song was that?
It was Booty Sweat. It's like, it's dummy, but like it slapped and like people liked it. And then I think like a week later we dropped another 2 songs. And then that's when it was like, but I think it was not so much only in the music. It was just about the energy that people were getting from our music that was so important. It was like people were happy. Do you know what I mean? People were enjoying it. Like, it was, the positivity was radiant, you know what I mean? And I think that was the one thing that stuck out for me. That's like, if that's what music, if that's what my music is gonna do for people, then I don't have a choice but to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Which literally comes to the establishing, where like now you go, listen, we actually establishing our sound now. Because you know, it ain't like y'all was sitting out there going, yo, if I could just get on that mic, get on stage. It was like, you know. It explains a lot. It explains a lot. You know, I think I think that when I listen to the music, because you guys have said it, you know, I listen to the songs, I listen to the EP, you know, and I do pick up the energy, and you guys have got an ear for choosing the right beats, you know, like with the right flows. But I'm like, I'm going, you know, but I know that this, you could work on this, you could work on that, you know. So I listen to the music like an A&R, and I'm going, but you know, had you not built your street buzz, you guys are like one of the rare stories where your street buzz is bigger than your music. You know what I mean? And by the time you drop your music, because of your street buzz, people just go, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Because you've created a culture. So the culture now has a soundtrack. So who's to say what the music needs to sound like?
Yeah, 100%.
It's the culture you created. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
But when literally I'm not in the culture, I'm listening to it as a guy who's listening to music on my own. I wasn't in the space. But as a guy who listens to music, I go, so I'm not connected to the culture. But these guys are popping. Okay, but they could work on this and this. Like when I went to Atlanta, you know, Jeezy was out. Like Jeezy just started, and I was in South Africa and I never got the buzz about Jeezy, you know. But when I was in Atlanta and I saw the whole snowman hats and I was literally like looking at and going to the different hoods and literally hearing people playing it. That shit like was knocking. I was like, oh,
it made sense.
Now when I see the people who fucks with it, like,
makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of see it when we perform. Like,
I think that's when it truly shines, man.
When we perform, like you can see, like, oh, actually now it makes sense. Like people will understand. But I mean, like Sia said earlier, it's like we didn't have time to, like, you know how some rappers like they spend like 10 years building the craft, building the sound, building like how they.
So by the time they blow up, you like they already found themselves.
It seems like an overnight thing, like this person was like this, but it's like it took 10 years to get here. We had like 2 years to figure it out.
You guys worked it the other way around. You get that guy for 10 years, he's running, but he doesn't even have buzz. Doesn't even have an audience. Doesn't even have a culture that people can say that that's who that guy is. So you guys worked it the other way around. You can almost like build the audience. And then right now, you're in a place where you go, listen, I mean, I'm sure you guys are going, when we listen to all our music, we don't think that's the best we can do.
No, definitely. We grow from that. The stuff that we're making now, man.
I'm so happy.
Like,
I'm so happy.
Like even with the EP last year, like we weren't happy with it. It was like, cause we had made Smoke, and Smoke was like a big song, and people were expecting that kind of sound continuously. But we wanted people to understand us as people, and not as like these guys that just turn up the whole time. And that's why the songs on the EP were so serious. But
we were also trying to respect music.
But you know, we lost that thing where we forgot to have fun with it. The reason why we got here is because we had fun. We didn't care. We just did what we wanted to do. And we've gotten back to that place because like it was just like a time. Like last year was just reevaluation. You know. At some point we even took like an 8-month. Like we didn't record.
8 months, bro.
We didn't record for like 8 months, and then like, you know, because we're scared of what people were saying. There's a lot of critics and stuff like that, and it's like it really dampens your spirit as an artist, because you feel so strongly about your art.
And it was that thing where it's like, because it happened quite a bit when we started. It was like, these guys aren't rappers. Like, why are they rapping? Do you know what I mean? And that's why the tape came out like that, because it's like we were trying to prove something. To be honest, I'm reflecting now, it's like we didn't have to prove it. But we were trying to prove to people that we take music seriously, and we do in our heart of hearts. You know what I mean? Like, music is not something to take lightly, because it takes people in and out of emotions. And like with that tape, it was like we actually have to show people that we're in control of what we're saying, and we can do this thing. If we're talking about being musical, we can do it. We're past that point now. There's nothing to prove. It's just, do it.
I mean, you guys, what you don't understand is that, like, you guys were the streets. You created the streets. You created your lane. You never had to switch up and go be something else. But what I will say is that, because music goes everywhere in the world, you have to work on getting the music better all the time. Everyone has that responsibility, I mean, guys make one hit and then they try to keep making the same hit again, and they never improve the music. You know what I mean? That's just a general thing if you're a musician. And Creative Corner Cats want to know, what's the one thing you hope no artist ever goes through that you guys have gone through, be it as individuals or as a group?
This one is tricky, but like, I just hope that people can make it with the people they started with. Because like we went through that shit and just like it didn't slap. You know what I mean? You lose a lot of your comfort, you lose a lot of your trust, because it's like, I trust that dude, but that dude has to go his own way, and then I have to get new dude now who could, stab me in the back in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's like, we definitely have good people right now. Like no shit on them, but I just hope that you can really go through it all with the people that you started with.
How many of you guys when you started? I mean, how many people did you start with? What was the
It depends on the question. Is it musically or is it culturally?
Just culturally.
Culturally.
I mean, because that's, you know, you guys are bigger than music. You know, you started the other side. So culturally.
I think there was like 10 of us. I think.
Yeah.
There's like 10 of us. But like now there's like maybe 5.
Yeah.
Five, 6. Like excluding the people that helped deal with our music, but the people that we began this thing with.
Yeah.
5. It's the nature of it.
But I mean, you have to go through it to learn like a few things. Like you never really like lose. You just learn.
You just become firmer, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, it just becomes firmer. You know. I mean, you guys also had a deal with was it Universal? How did that happen?
Yo.
Which now you're out of, right?
Yeah. It was never. It was more of a partnership.
Uh-huh.
It was actually AKA saying it the other night. This thing is not really about signing yourself or signing the paper. It's about the partnership and what people can do for each other. So that thing was a partnership in the light where we were licensing music to them.
Yeah.
Obviously for growth. You know.
Yeah. To like to get where, you know, the real pockets. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Did you guys feel that you got that? Did you? I mean, also with you guys also trying to find your sound. Did you feel it was also a premature thing? If you look at everything in retrospect and go, well, you know, because we were also finding our sound, you know. Besides you going, they could have dropped the ball here, but do you guys feel that you were actually really, really ready?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But also, I don't think they get it. Like that's not hate to the parties over there. Like they're really cool people, but the real issue here is about the stuff that people are trying to hear. You know what I mean? Like the people that can influence that direction in which music goes in this country are not making the moves to make it happen. We're not diversifying the soundscape because we have this word called the commercialism. The commercial song. Do you know what I mean? We're not trying to make commercial music. Do you know what I mean? And I think in light of that group or that party didn't make sense for us because they weren't a part of diversifying the music.
Broadcast live